Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists of pointless things, where we fly and buy pointless statue in Booty Bay, because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is Rio Duran, and Rio Duran is located near the Shrine of Goldrin in Mount Hyjal. And there's actually a couple of references here, all tied into the band Duran Duran. So Rio Duran is likely a reference to the song Rio, which was made by Duran Duran, so that's pretty obvious. But nearby in another cage, there's Ian Duran, who's likely a reference to Ian Little, who produced and remixed Duran Duran songs. On top of that, Duran Duran made a song called Hungry Like the Wolf, and both of these characters are Worgen. Now, I wanted to put this on the list here at number 10 because one of my biggest issues is that Rio is not dancing in the sand. Because obviously in the song, they say her name is Rio and she dances on the sand. But here, she's not dancing on the sand. She's on the grass. It's like they just had a perfect opportunity to have her be on the sand, and that would have completed this entire pop culture reference, but instead, she's just on the grass. It doesn't make sense. Also, I found it kind of funny that there's a night elf trapped with Rio Duran in the cage, and she has no relation to Duran Duran, but she does just sell you random stuff. Like, she's trapped in a cage. You think that would be her number one priority, but she's like, hey, you want to buy some, like, pine nut bread? It's like, dude, you should probably save that. You're in a cage, trapped. You might need that to survive. Either way, that's why Rio Duran is number 10. 9. Number 9 is Puss in Boots, and Puss in Boots is a slime cat located in a small camp in the Iron Trench in Maldraxxus. And Puss in Boots is clearly a reference to Puss in Boots from Shrek. And I really like how they dressed him up. They gave him 4 boots on all of his paws, although it looks like the 2 back boots are kind of transparent or like ghostly boots or something, while the 2 in the front look like they're just normal boots. And then they also gave him a sword. And if you end up petting Puss in Boots, he will slime you and give you the gross debuff, which just says, gross. You've been slimed. Also, Puss in Boots is part of the 9 Afterlives achievement, where you have to find and pet all of the kittens in Maldraxxus, which are Hairball, Snots, Puss in Boots, Envy, Mr. Jigglesworth, Lime, Mayhem, Moldostopheles, and Meowmalade. And after doing that, you receive Jiggle's favorite toy. So if you want to get that achievement, you're gonna have to be slimed. But yeah, I think Puss in Boots is a fun little reference to Shrek and Puss in Boots, and it's in Maldraxxus, so I imagine a lot of people don't know about it if you didn't play Shadowlands. So that's why Puss in Boots is number 9. 8. Number 8 are actually 2 smaller pop culture references that I decided to blend together, mainly because I accidentally picked out 11, and I was like, I gotta remove one of these. And I was like, you know what? What if I just combine 2 of the smaller references on the list and make it 1? And so that's what we've done. We've combined Poe the Raven and this Pac-Man reference in Hallowfall. And so Poe the Raven is the pet raven of Will Larson's, located at Lordanelle in Darkshore, and is clearly a reference to the American author Edgar Allan Poe and the 1845 poem The Raven. And then on the other side, we have the Pac-Man reference, where this big block of cheese is supposed to be Pac-Man, and then the beer mugs or steins are supposed to be the little yellow dots that Pac-Man eats, and then the big red apple is supposed to be the cherries. Although I feel like, are there no cherries in World of Warcraft they could have used? I don't know. I guess not, or they probably would have. I guess the apple's the closest thing. And so yeah, these are 2 references I wanted on the list, but I couldn't really say much more than like, it's Edgar Allan Poe, and it's Pac-Man, and so that's why I combined them, and that's why they're number 8. 7. Number 7 is Bud, and Bud is a frog located in Torga's Tavern in Nazmir. And Bud is clearly a reference to the Budweiser frogs, which are from a 1995 Super Bowl commercial. And I never actually saw the commercial live. I think they either aired it in a future Super Bowl, or they did another spin-off, or I ended up seeing it somewhere else. But I always just remember the Budweiser frogs, and they're just like, Bud, Wise, Bud, Wise. And that's pretty much it. They're frogs that say Budweiser, but each one says Bud, Wise, You can look it up if you want to see it. I'm not going to play it here because it's going to get copyright struck, but it's got to be one of the best Super Bowl commercials of all time. Also, I didn't know the insane lore behind this. It says the Budweiser frogs were fired by Budweiser in 1999 in a TV ad featuring Louie the Lizard ending their reign as popular mascots. And apparently one of the big concerns was that the ad was targeting children, which I guess it was, because I thought it was cool when I was a kid, but let's be real, Budweiser's barely even beer anyway. It's like flavored gumball water. But anyway, Bud is a reference to the Budweiser frogs, and he's pretty cool, so that's why he's number 7. 6. Number 6 is Explorer Nazand, and Explorer Nazand is a goblin located in the Castaway Cave in Draenor Nagrand. And this is very clearly a reference to the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks. And I think most people that have seen the movie Castaway always remember the volleyball Wilson, because in the movie, Tom Hanks is like going crazy, but he makes friends with this volleyball that he draws a face on, and he names it Wilson. And so Explorer Nazand has a volleyball named Wibson. And if you look up all his attacks, he has abilities like Hide Behind Wibson, Kill Command Wibson, Wrath of Wibson, Wibson Strike, and he has quotes like, "Oh, now you asked for it. Wibson, get him! Avenge me, Wibson! No, you can't take Wibson, he's all I have left!" But within all these quotes, we actually have a second reference which he says, "Wibson, use your sandstorm now!" And so we actually have a sandstorm reference within a Castaway reference within World of Warcraft. But yeah, this actually makes me want to go back and watch the movie Castaway, because I haven't seen it like since it came out, so I'm curious to see how I'd react to it now. I don't even know if it's good or not, but I guess I'll find out when I watch it again. But either way, that's why Explorer Nazand and Wibson are number 6. 5. Number 5 is Severus the Outcast, and Severus the Outcast is a human located in Beryl Meadow in the Stormsong Valley. And Severus the Outcast is using blood magic and devouring the corpses of Harald the Scarred, Ronald Flamehair, and Hermie the Wise. And so obviously this is a reference to Harry Potter. We have Severus as Severus Snape. We have Harold the Scarred, who is Harry Potter. He got the scar in his head, right? We have Ronald Flamehair, who's like Ronald. He's got the red hair. And then we have Hermione, who is Wise, so Hermie the Wise. He also has 3 blood spells that he casts. He has Blood Bolt, Congeal Blood, and Siphon Blood, which somebody on Wowhead said he cast a bunch of half-blood spells upon attacking. And I remember first running into this being like, what is this? This is really weird. And then I realized that it was a Harry Potter reference, so I really do think this is one of the lesser-known pop culture references in World of Warcraft, but I mean, I think pretty much anything past BFA probably is, because a lot of people just like stop playing or stop paying attention at that point. So either way, that's why Severus the Outcast is number 5. 4. Number 4 is the Krusty Crawler, and the Krusty Crawler is a big crab mount that was added to the Traveler's Log as a completion award in September of 2023. And I'm pretty sure the Krusty Crawler is also a reference to SpongeBob. And I say that because for a lot of these, I'm like, this is obviously a reference, but there's no like definitive reference kind of giveaway here, but I do have some clues. So obviously the Krusty Crawler is resembling the Krusty Krab from SpongeBob SquarePants. And then if you go to the Mountain Journal, it says, this rare giant crab has taken a break from its nautical nonsense deep under the sea to explore the surface, which that does sound like a reference to SpongeBob, because obviously they always talk about nautical nonsense. So I'm kind of just putting together here that this is a SpongeBob reference. I'm pretty sure it is, but you never know. I mean, again, it is Blizzard we're talking about, and they love to put references in this game, so I would bet money that this is a SpongeBob reference, and so I'm going to say it is. So that's why the Krusty Crawler is number 4. 3. Number 3 is Wily and the Ridge Runner, and Wily is a Volparen carrying a rocket that constantly runs in a big circuit around Western Vol'dun at very high speeds pursuing the Ridge Runner. And this is very clearly a reference to Wile E. Coyote and the Road Runner from Looney Tunes. And I really didn't even know this was in the game until I made a video called Finding Things You Might Have Missed in Vol'dun, which is a series that I do for various zones, but I did the one on Vol'dun, and I was just flying around, and I was like, what was that? And then I kept looking, and I was like, wait a second, that's a Looney Tunes reference. And so I was just like following them around, and they go all over the zone, man. Not like literally all over, but they go from like the port of Zemlan all the way up to the Shatterstone Harbor and back and forth. Like, it is a large area that they cover for just 2 characters just running around. But yeah, I grew up watching Looney Tunes, and I'm sure a lot of you did as well. And so instantly I was like, dude, Roadrunner, beep, beep. And then Wile E. Coyote's got the rockets and stuff. So it was just, it's a fun little reference, and I like it a lot. So that's why Wile E. Coyote, or Wily the Volparen, and the Ridge Runner are number 3. 2. Number 2 are the steamed clams and the Aurora Borealis, which are a food and a drink item that are purchasable at various spots in Borealis, as well as Drustvar, Stormsong Valley, and Tiergard Sound. And so if you don't know what this is a reference to, it is a Simpsons reference, and I am somebody who has seen like every Simpsons episode from seasons 3 through like 10, probably numerous times throughout my life, so I know all about them, and I love this reference. I love The Simpsons. This is such a great one. I mean, the steamed clams is like the steamed hams, and he's like, they're obviously grilled, which they reference in the steamed clams, little flavor text. And then there's the Aurora Borealis, which is referencing when his house is on fire, and he goes, good Lord, what is happening in there? And he's like, Aurora Borealis. And he's like, at this time of the year, at this time of the day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen. Yes. Can I see it? No. And so yeah, I love me a good Simpsons reference, and I didn't even realize this was in the game, but now I do, and now you do too, and that's why the steamed clams and the Aurora Borealis are number 2. 1. And number 1 is Hunter Robin and his friends Melancholy Mule, Pig, honey bear, rabbit, and tiger. And this is clearly a reference to Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh. And so yeah, Hunter Robin is Christopher Robin, Melancholy Mule is Eeyore, Pig is Piglet, Honey Bear is Winnie the Pooh, and Tiger is Tigger, and Rabbit is, well, Rabbit. And you can see they're all just sitting around with a bunch of jars of honey scattered about, which is another big reference to Winnie the Pooh, because obviously he loves honey. And this is actually one of the references that I did know about back in Battle for Azeroth, but I just really like it. It's a very wholesome reference. I love that they have all the characters from the show, although they don't have Owl. So, that, I mean, they could have just put an owl in, but maybe the person who added this in was like, you know what, I can't stand Owl or so. I don't know. But yeah, I grew up watching Winnie the Pooh. I love this. It's a very wholesome reference, and I just think it's a really cool reference. I like what they did here, and so that's why I decided to put it at number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. If you want more Top 10s, you can check out the first pop culture references in World of Warcraft that I uploaded a while back if you haven't seen that, or you can go check out NPCs in the Middle of Nowhere if you missed that from the other week. Also, like the video and tell me below what your favorite pop culture reference in World of Warcraft is. Okay? Okay. See you.